10 people are saved. Millions of people, including the children, the women, they all perish, and only 10 are survived. Is God unfair? No. Remember Job. He was a very rich man. Just in one instant, his children died, his wealth perished, he got boils all over his body, and we know it came from Satan, but God, without the permission of God, Satan couldn't do it. Now, was God unfair for it to happen because his family died, his children died? All his wealth went away and boils hurting everywhere. Was God unfair? Of course, his wife said, curse God and die. But Job said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job understood the sovereignty of God. Just imagine the flood during Noah's time. God destroyed all the inhabitants of the earth, including children, infants, maybe pregnant mothers. Everybody were drowned and they were destroyed except Noah and his family. Was it fair? It is hard for us to swallow that, right? Very difficult. But that's why we need to understand the sovereignty of God. He can do whatever He pleases. God is in control. I don't understand it, but I submit to God's revealed will. God can do whatever He pleases. In the same thing with Sodom and Gomorrah, God destroyed all the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah except Lot and his family. Of course, his wife was destroyed. And Psalm 135 verse 5 says, for I know that the Lord is great, and that our Lord is above all gods. Whatever the Lord pleases, He does in heaven and on earth. And also, God is the supreme king. He can do whatever He wants. He doesn't have to take counsel from anybody. We take counsel when we want to do anything, but God doesn't. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 14 says, with whom took He counsel? With whom did God take counsel or instruction or taught him the path of judgment? Nobody. So, we see how Paul says, oh, the depths and the riches and the wisdom and the knowledge of God, who can understand? Nothing happens what God has planned. Everything what God has planned will happen in the right way. And God is not going to change His mind and say, oh, I made a mistake. We change our plans because we make mistakes. What God purposed through eternity, it will come pass. Even those things that happen to us as accidents is included in His plan. We don't understand. So God's purpose includes our free choice, and also it includes good and everything. Now remember Joseph. His brothers tried to kill him. And when the brothers met Joseph in Egypt later on, Joseph said, they meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Whatever that even evil happens, we don't understand. But we think it meant for evil, but God meant it for good. We don't understand. What about Jesus? Peter taught this on the day of Pentecost. This Jesus, Acts chapter 2:23, this Jesus delivered up according to the definite plan and the foreknowledge of God, you crucified and killed by the hands of lawless men. Thus God is not the, but yet it was already preordained by God. What about King Nebuchadnezzar? He was very rich. He understood the sovereignty of God eventually. Right? When he ate grass like a fox, and his body was like dew, and hair was very long and like the feathers of an eagle, and nails were like of a bird, then he understood that God is sovereign, that God is in control. And King Nebuchadnezzar said in Daniel 4:34, at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me. And I blessed the Most High, and praised and honored Him who lives forever. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, and His kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are accounted nothing, and He does according to His will among the host of heaven, among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can say to Him, what have you done? Nobody can tell Him, what have you done, God? Why is it that one man is so eloquent in speech and another one stammers? What makes different? Why is it that one is poor, one is rich, one is born in deformity, one is born in health? It's because God is sovereign. Everything. We cannot question God and say you are unfair. King Nebuchadnezzar understood that and said, what have you done, O God? No. He is the potter, we are the clay, and we cannot ask the potter, what are you doing? Revelation chapter 4:11 says, thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things for thy pleasure. They are and were created. That's the sovereignty of God. Now,